Hey everybody, Jonny with my podcast, His Mancave. I wanted to do a little video in front of these so that way, it kind of explained what was going on. We had a great chat with Miss Whitney. We went for like 3.5, 4 hours. So what I did was I broke it up into sections. I've got 3 of those sections edited out right now, and I'm going to go ahead and release them. But, we talk about genetic sexual attraction. I battle a fly that I'm still battling, torture, virginity, comedy, this crazy story that she has about COVID dating. David hates camping, which, I think that's unnatural, but whatever. I found out an interesting fact about Oklahoma. Depression, bullies. David sings for us a little bit. So, all in all, it was a great time. Hell, we even thought people were fighting out in front of the house at one point in time. And we all ran out there to see what was going on. Fun fact, it was just 2 girls twerking. I don't know. I couldn't see really what was going on my surveillance camera. But episode 1, 2, and 3 are getting dropped right now, and I hope you enjoy. Do me a favor, like, subscribe, comment. Let us know who you want to see. Let us know if you want to come on here. Let us know what you want us talking about, and we'll figure it out. Thanks, you guys. We appreciate it. And now, on with the show. And we're recording.
Now we're recording.
So do the intro for us.
Intro time. It is my podcast, His Man Cave. My podcast, His Man Cave. We're talking and learning, living and loving, putting things where they're not supposed to go. Maybe every now and again we learn and become friends. My podcast, His Man Cave.
I'm going to isolate that, and I think that is our new intro. I might add a little bit of auto-tune to it, maybe try to figure out a beat to go with it.
I feel like I should have contributed, but then again, I also feel like that was a piece of art that...
that's why I stopped, because I felt like I was fucking it up. I didn't know he was going that deep into it.
I'm in it. Like, I'm dialed in.
Well, this is another fabulous episode of my podcast, His Man Cave. It's got me, David, and Miss Whitney.
Hey.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So we were talking, I had to stop you there, but we were talking right before I hit record here about, what was it?
Genetic sexual attraction?
Genetic sexual attraction. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, because I have a question that I've got to ask here that.
Let's lay out what genetic.
That's what I'm saying. Like, let that go first.
So, as our resident expert.
I am by no means a scholar. But it's a pseudoscience and it's a hypothesis right now, the last thing that I looked up, and it's a phenomenon where when close blood relatives, be they like close blood or like mother-son, father-daughter, or I don't know, maybe even, homosexual pairs, but they're close blood related and they don't meet until they're both fully into adulthood, and they develop a sexual attraction, whether or not they know they're related.
Who's funding this study? Is it browsers.com?
Yeah, it's got to be.
It's coming out of my own slush fund. Yeah. Something I have a lot of weight in.
So with that said, does that mean the only thing that keeps you from being attracted potentially to your sister is the fact that you grow up with her?
I don't know, man, because some people don't let that really dampen their parade.
Ugh. That's a question they ask when you go to get married here in Louisiana is are you marrying a blood relative?
That sounds like something they would ask in Louisiana.
Isn't that why they do
Sorry,
the
I
blood
can't
test?
kill this motherfucker. I've been trying to get this bitch. I'm sorry to
okay.
Off top of this fucking fly. Y'all are going to see me go at him. Anyway. But yeah, no, they ask if you're marrying a blood relative.
I thought they actually made you do a blood test to determine that you weren't doing it.
We didn't have to. No.
I guess
they just take your word for it.
Yeah.
I guess that's just an old thing that because I always heard that like when my parents got married they had to have a blood test, and like I don't know how far that back.
I got married in 08, so there wasn't no blood test back then, but it was the question.
That is wild.
Yeah, I thought it was, and it was like I was reading it and I looked up and I was like, "Are you fucking serious?"
Yeah.
His lady was like, "What?" And I was like, "This last question." She was like, "Oh yeah, you'd be surprised at how many people check yes."
That's what I was about to say. Is like it's fascinating that they take your word for it, but the question's there because somebody ticked yes at some point.
Apparently,
somebody was like, "Yeah."
Apparently,
as a matter of fact, I am
here in Louisiana. It's apparently somewhat common. Common enough where they got a question. So.
I don't disbelieve you. In fact, I would be inclined to think that it's probably a necessary thing.
Well, not a necessary thing. Are you talking about the question or marrying a blood relative?
Both, sometimes.
Oh, shit, you painted me into a corner here.
Depends on the situation.
Sometimes
How
you
lonely am I, and how hot is my cousin?
Yeah.
Sometimes you just, the gun's to your head. Sometimes you just got to do it. I mean, once you get her pregnant, you got to marry her.
Oh my God, you're absolutely right.
Oh,
Because
God.
what is your uncle gonna say?
Yeah. Well, your uncle dad now.
Your uncle dad, my uncle-in-law dad.
Oh, Jesus. I was thinking of, oh, fuck, I can't even say it anymore.
Oh, you absolutely can. Because if it's too bad, I can always edit it. So don't
No,
sweat
I
it.
can't remember. I
No.
was talking to somebody the other day, and there was a thing about brother and sister getting married. And then I was like, and then they had a kid, and the person I was talking to said that. They were like, oh, yeah, it's their uncle's son. And then I was like, oh, but they're getting divorced. And they were like, that's a shame. And breaking up the family, I was like, no, they're getting divorced so they can both marry the child.
Jesus. Tangled web we
Some of
weave.
that.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out, because then
Yeah.
my brain got all wrapped in on itself, because I was like, wait, does that make them their own grandparents? And then it's like, wait, they're also their own cousins? Wait. And then I was like, no, I can't
It's
think
too
about
much.
this anymore.
It's too much.
Like,
My head hurts.
Something tells me if you figure out an answer to that, you'll reboot the Matrix.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I have a feeling like once everything gets that intertwined, like you just have to start coming up with new names for relations. Like the old names don't do it anymore. Be like, oh, well, who's this person to you? They're my guabflopple.
Brunkle.
Yeah, right, yeah.
So is that why, the whole stepmom porn and stepsister porn and whatever porn has come about? Because
It's gotta be. Well, I mean, those.
It
I think
is
that's
a
how
legitimate
they
attraction.
fly it under the radar by saying like stepmom, stepsister, so people are like, yeah, I really want to bang my own mom.
Well, it's not a modern thing either. Look at Cruel Intentions.
Yeah, but they were step siblings.
They were
well.
step
well,
siblings.
yeah,
They were
but that's
step
But
siblings.
that
it falls
yeah.
into it.
So like the whole
And
step
she did
sibling
say
thing.
you could put it anywhere. One of the hottest moments in TV for a young man like myself.
I was just thinking about being a guy and fucking your own mom, and the reason you can't do it is because you can never go home.
You can never go home
It's
again.
the old saying.
Okay,
You
all
can
right.
never go home.
Never go home. Yeah, that's terrible. Mom, if you're listening
you-
to the first 5 minutes
Yeah,
of this,
when
which
you-
I doubt,
Oh my God,
I
what
love
if-
you.
Come home after a long, hard day.
What if you were fucking your mom and she was unimpressed and she was like, it was better the first time?
Oh my God. Oh. She compared you to your brother.
Oh, no.
Your brother's dick's bigger. Whoa, Mom, what you throwing?
But the pseudoscience behind like the actual like incest like levels of it is the fact that like you are genetically drawn to people that are genetically compatible with you, and you can tell a lot about genetics from like the structure of your face,
Yeah.
size and shape of your nose, lips, irises, like all of these subtle cues that kind of lend to what your genetics are. I think it's kind of amazing that the human brain can pick up on all that shit, kind of.
Well, but don't your own genetics because isn't that how a lot of like, defects come about? is with-
Yeah.
So, but wouldn't your own genetics then not be attractive to you because of that?
That's going to be typically between siblings, because you'd have to think about it this way. Only 50% of your genes are going to match your dad or your mom.
Okay.
But your sibling is going to not be close to 100%, but way more than 50%, because if it's blood father, blood mother, you're going to be way similar to your sibling genetically than you would be from any single parent.
Okay. Doesn't make it any better, but I understand.
doesn't make it any
I
better,
get
no.
it now. Yeah. No.
But yeah, the whole Oedipus thing, like,
Yeah. That's fucked.
but like Oedipus gets a bad rap because here's the thing: he didn't want to marry that woman. He had to because it like that's how fucking monarchies work. And so I kind of feel bad for that story. Everybody thinks that he wanted to fuck his mom. No, in order to retain the title of king of that land, he had to marry the woman that was previously queen,
That's so
Which was his
fucked.
mom.
which happened to be his mom. He didn't know it at the time, but it happened to be his mom who was in that position who he had to marry.
There's a lot of inbreeding, of course, we all know this, in
Man.
Most
like
monarchies.
monarchies and royalties all together. But there's a specific, I'm racking my brain right now, but quarantine has turned any semblance of an IQ I had
To mush.
to basically oatmeal. But there was a guy, and he had like a Habsburgs, the fucking Habsburgs.
Yeah.
There's a thing called Habsburg's Jaw, and all the Habsburgs were like, I think they're from Germany. There's still a Habsburg
Vienna.
Germany. Wait, is it Vienna? Austria. So yeah,
Yeah.
basically
Yeah.
Germany light.
Yeah,
Like,
they were in Austria, and they lived in a big palace in Vienna until unpleasantness happened.
oh yeah. And they all look
What are you talking
real-
about? Nothing happened, right?
They all look weirdly similar because they all interbred so much, which honestly they had to have because they kept the name Habsburg. Like, oh, you're a Habsburg? I'm a Habsburg. We should fuck.
Well,
Let's fuck about it.
Well, that's the thing about monarchies is like it. The reason that there's so much interbreeding inside monarchies is because they didn't want to dilute their power base. Because if you invite somebody that's not of your blood into that family, they now have a kid. That's now a separate power base of the royal family.
Yeah.
Because like in medieval fucking and well past medieval, but like in most monarchies, like everybody's scheming for power.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So why don't we do that today? Why is that something that, I mean, obviously, to me, I think I understand why it died out, but why did something like that die out and not continue on?
Well, because monarchies died out.
Well, is there anything that follows that same?
There's actually a completely different radical structure of it that goes the complete opposite direction, and that is the Saudi royal family. The Saudi royal family is gigantic. It has hundreds and hundreds of princes and princesses, and like it's way everywhere. But the main reason that their monarchy functions that way is because like shit is only handled by the royal family.
Yeah, but they also didn't like back in history times. The Middle Eastern countries and like East Asian countries don't believe in fucking interbreeding.
Yeah, in fucking interbreeding.
They believed in like genetic diversity. It's really only European.
Yeah.
And
So is that why they died out? Is because
yeah,
they didn't have enough diversity within?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and that-
royalty.
See, I'm an idiot. I don't know nothing
yeah,
about that
and
shit.
and that
so.
kind of interbreeding will lead to like you're more susceptible to certain diseases,
Yeah.
genetic defects.
Short ass lifespan.
Short ass
That's why a lot
lifespans.
of you'll read about
And-
stuff and like they come into the monarchy at like 12, 13 years old and then they die at
Yeah.
like 17.
And so like
and they
nobody's
went in war.
yeah.
They just die, like
And-
up and just be dead from just being.
Yeah, just consumption.
Yeah.
And
Just
so
being.
and so when you have like that kind of cycle that just keeps going through, like the monarchy isn't running anything, and so the people that are running things are like, why the fuck are we paying all this money to keep this monarchy around?
Google Habsburg's jaw. Habburgs, I believe. Google fix it.
Jugel. But yeah, no, like the
Yeah, that's the first thing that pops up is Habsburg's jaw.
it's kind of like I said, the
Family tree looks like a pine tree.
It's like it's a wreath.
No branches.
If
All right,
you
am
go
I
to
looking for images?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
You'll see they all look so similar.
Oh my God.
Oh
Yes!
my God.
Those are the fucking Habsburgs.
I went to high school with a guy, with a Habsburg, I guess.
So
Look
they
at
all
this
have
guy.
like really ridiculous underbites, which is like when your lower jaw juts out like past your upper jaw, and like their bottom lip was freakishly huge, and
Yeah.
that's the Habsburgs.
Yeah, see?
And
Yeah.
yeah, they kept interbreeding with each other so bad that
Look
they
at
all
this
picked
chick.
up
Oh
these
my
genetic
God.
traits. Holy shit, that poor thing.
Rub on your taint while she's blowing you. Is Leno a Habsburg? Look at there.
Conspiracy.
Dun dun
Conspiracy.
dun. Dun dun dun.
Oh my God, Peter Griffin was a Habsburg this whole time.
That's oh yeah, those aren't testicles, are they?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Speaking of
crazy.
testicles, when one of the last Habsburgs died, the royal physician, and this is all happenstance and hearsay, but the royal physician that, what is it when they cut up your body?
Autopsy?
When he autopsied the guy's body, he said he had little to no blood in his system. His heart was shriveled like a walnut, and he only had one testicle, and something about the testicle was off. Maybe it was the testicle was a shriveled walnut.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I think this physician was just kind of like...
Drunk?
He dead.
He
Fuck
dead.
this dude.
Yeah. Isn't that how they
He
all
was
were way
gross,
back
y'all.
when? Well-
I think he was also trying to make like a whole thing about interbreeding too. Be like,
Yeah.
don't do it. The
Yeah.
Habsburgs did it and they fucked up.
Maybe
Would
we
this
should die.
here be considered interbreeding because it's all from the same cloud? I think,
No, because I mean, what is a cloud but millions of separate water droplets? So
man,
who's to
that's
say where
one
one cloud
fucking
is?
orgy.
what are the odds?
I
of
love the art that's fucking on top of it. Though.
What are the odds of this happening? I mean, that is picture perfect.
It is, and I like to read it from bottom to top, where she's going down on him, and then she comes up, and then she's just like, "Snowball, motherfucker!"
Oh, even better. Yeah, here, take my volcano load. Yeah, see, I stumble across weird shit like this all the time. That's my jam.
No, I think you were like, oh, what are the odds? Be like, you're always going to see shapes and clouds of things you want.
Absolutely.
Like, so the odds on that, pretty fucking good.
I'm going to tell you right now, this is definitely not a shape in a cloud that I want to be in part of. But this is, again, the kind of crazy shit that I look for.
What an irresponsible pilot. Like,
I mean, it looks like he's flying around that storm.
You're not enough.
I mean, that plane ain't getting struck by lightning. But that picture's insane.
Planes can get struck by lightning.
It goes right through them,
Yeah, it goes right through them. They're fine.
Yeah, no big deal.
Well, because they're not grounded.
Not like my kids.
Oh,
Hey-o!
dad jokes.
Dad joke. Sorry, you guys. I didn't mean to dad joke it up. So, but I don't know. I can't see the whole incest thing. I can't. And I mean, maybe if I was raised to, hey, your sister's going to be your wife, maybe I'd think differently, but
I think that like it's a tough thing. Like, is it something you're genetically just going to have in you no matter what? Is it how you're raised?
I think it's going to have to be
Yeah, it has to be
nurture
how you're-
over nature.
Or is it going to have to be both? Like, is it going to have to be neither? Like, the thing about it is like, because people are raised in such different, like, huge... Because, like I said, I mean, we still have, like, the concept of an arranged marriage is still very popular in a lot of countries.
Right.
And it's like... And you were bringing up, be like, you're told, be like, oh, yeah, your sister's going to be your wife. And it's just like, so many people are just going to be like, this person's going to be your wife. Done.
Well, but
you will learn to love this person.
I mean, and correct me if I'm wrong, but when it comes to arranged marriages, they're done at an early age too, correct?
Yeah.
Not always.
Well, not always. In like East Asian, like India, it's usually older people. But when I say older, I mean like when they're adults. But in Middle Eastern countries where it's not East Asian,
oh yeah,
where it's Middle Eastern, that's an arrangement where it's monetary.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like, kids are betrothed. But the thing is what's really misunderstood, because I did live in Turkey for a long time, which is a Middle Eastern country that does still have arranged marriages, and they do offer dowries for young girls. They basically, it's like a down payment.
It's a layaway plan.
Yeah, that's a layaway plan. It's a real layaway plan where they're like, your daughter is same age as my son. I think your daughter is nice. And it's about joining families in both cultures. I've been watching, that fucking Indian arranged marriage show on Netflix. Dope. I love it. Oh my God. It's awful. It's insane. It's stupid. And I love it.
We've been on the Love on the Spectrum and 90 Day Fiance the other way.
Yeah.
That's what my wife is watching right now. And I've been she even told me earlier, she was like, you like this show, don't you? And I was like, I'm so intrigued by it.
It's fucking nasty. And you just can't look away.
I can't understand, I cannot understand there's this one girl who's had 6.5 weeks worth of interaction with her husband or fiance, whatever the hell they are. Mm-hmm. She's got a fucking 3-month-old baby, and she's moving to South Korea to be with this dude.
Wait.
Yeah.
Hold up.
6.5 weeks. Exactly. That's it. They've only had physical interaction with each other for 6.5 weeks. The baby's his. Like, he wasn't there for any of the pregnancy, or maybe not even the birth. I don't fucking know. I hadn't watched it enough. But she gets there and he ain't got nothing, and she's mad about it. And it's like, bitch, what the fuck are you expecting? You have been hanging out with this dude for 6.5 weeks of the last year, and you think everything's just going to be all good? Like, what the fuck?
That's fucked up. Also, it's one of those things where it's like, like you said, what did you expect?
What I'd like to know what kind of fucking, like, what is going on with the self-esteem of some of these people that do the thing? Because there's one of the guys on this show that he's a good-looking Middle Eastern guy, and he's marrying like a fucking 60-year-old like
60?
grandma.
Oh my
and
God.
she looks like a typical Southern grandma that feeds you fucking biscuits and gravy all the time.
Maybe he's a big fan of biscuits and gravy.
No, man, it's fucking crazy.
I
mean, she ain't loaded or nothing, pussy. And that's the thing is like with these people.
Grands? They come in a tube.
They sure as hell do. But the fucked up part about it is none of these people like are loaded.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
They
just,
gotta be getting paid.
it's. I mean, my wife said she looked it up, and they don't make shit apparently for being on the show.
Royalties, maybe.
That's what I tried to think of, but she said she claims no.
exposure.
I don't fucking know. But exposure for what?
Exposure, you.
Hell
want.
yeah, no, I'm not hiring you
All
because you're
press is good
clearly
press.
bad at making decisions.
All press is good press.
I disagree.
And then, hey,
Joe
look,
Exotic.
he's got
Yeah,
a point.
he's still in jail.
Yeah, but he's fucking bank.
Yeah, but
In jail? What? He's gonna take it to the commissary and
he's
get extra ramen
he's
for the
gonna.
week?
As a matter of fact, he will.
Yeah.
But he's also gonna get out too.
He's
at
gonna
some
get
point
out
in time.
because of
Carol
that show.
Baskin's the one that killed
As soon as
somebody.
it goes
Yeah.
to trial, everybody's gonna say not guilty.
There's
Shit,
no
no.
way he's gonna be able to have a fair trial, because everybody
Everybody's
knows.
seen it.
Everybody knows.
So well, then he might get lucky, and they might overturn it, and it'll just get tossed.
Yeah,
'cause
mistrial,
have
'cause
a
they
fair-
can't-
mistrial.
yeah.
But then also, let's rewind, Joe Exotic. What is that dude fucking packing? That he's turning straight guys left and right,
I don't
and
remember.
not even turning them. The dude's like, I mean, I'm not gay, but like, I'll fucking do
But
it.
I'm on drugs and
Yeah.
I'm broke, and this dude gives me money,
Yeah.
and he fills me full of dope.
Yeah. Okay.
And keeps me basically doped. I mean, look, it's the
Yeah,
same thing
yeah.
that pimps do to fucking girls.
That's
Yeah.
true.
You
I
know
didn't
what I'm
think
saying?
about it
And
that
it's the
way.
same thing that the other guy on that show, that Dr. Attal, or
Oh,
The other
shit,
guy,
shit.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
talking like the
that
weird
weird
guru guy?
motherfucker
Yeah,
with
the
a
weird
white
motherfucker.
tiger.
Ooh,
It's
that
the same-
dude.
it's the
Ooh,
same
he gives
thing-
me serial killer vibes.
Yeah.
That dude's killed somebody.
it's the same thing that he's doing to the girls. He starves them. It's
Yeah.
basic mind control tactics.
Yeah.
The starving and stuff like that. That's actually cult tactics where
Yeah.
because those girls were talking like, oh yeah, we work 12-hour days, and it's like we sleep like 4
Yeah,
hours
we eat
a night.
moldy bread. We
Yeah.
don't sleep, and then
Expired meat.
Yeah.
and we keep that up for months at a time.
That is
and
by the books.
and
cult
the
stuff.
only way that we can get rest or anything is to fuck this dude and get breast implants.
And he changes their name. That is the fastest way to get somebody to lose their identity. Lack of sleep, low calorie intake, and then
Yeah.
you don't allow them to use their birth name anymore. It's like
Yeah.
fucky
Like I said,
weird
that-
cult shit 101.
Man,
well, like I said,
we
that's
read
basic-
totally different things,
That's
don't we?
like
God
basic-
damn, y'all
well,
into
that's
some
basic,
weird shit.
That's basic brainwashing tactics. And the
I've never
thing that-
tried to brainwash anybody.
That's,
Oh.
well, no, the most
unfortunately.
terrifying thing about all like brainwashing tactics is the fact that everyone is susceptible to it. There
Yeah.
is not a single person
Yeah.
walking this earth that is not susceptible to these things.
It's just
Now-
a matter
now-
of time once you get into it. Like, and
Let me
can
ask you
become
this: what if you
dependent.
did extensive research on what these things were, and because obviously some people it's a lot harder to crack than others. You know,
Yeah.
some people
Oh,
can
yeah.
go through torture techniques and and come out.
Well,
Now,
like-
is that because you've done enough studying on it that you recognize what they're looking at
That's
or what you're looking
honestly
at?
why I started looking it up is
Mm-hmm.
because like I became interested in like I think in my childhood it was like unsolved mysteries, and then from unsolved mysteries it was UFO files,
Mm-hmm. All
and then
right.
from UFO files it was like cryptids, and then Jersey
Yeah.
Devil, and then cults, and then murders. Now
Yeah.
I'm like murder central. That's how you can tell I'm a 30-year-old woman
Yeah.
is because like I could tell you how to clean a crime scene tonight.
I have a bit about that.
Yeah,
About how I won't go on vacation with my wife
Yeah.
anymore because she watches way too much Lifetime.
too much. If like murder mysteries,
Honey,
Only-
I rented us a boat.
No, are the
you
kids?
fucking
No,
bitch.
Hey, are the
enjoy,
kids?
sweetie.
Yeah, are the kids and our neighbors and your mom and dad and
Yeah.
my mom and dad coming? Then I'm
Maybe our
not
friend who's a
interested.
state trooper.
Yeah,
and-
no, I just wanted it to be some you and me time. Fuck you and me. It ain't happening.
I don't know what happens when white women hit their 30s, because it's like it's one of those things where it's like being a white woman in your 30s, your life is so boring and predictable and white rice all day that you're like, I either want to kill someone, I want to be killed by someone, or I want to find a killer. Like that's the only thing you can hope to do.
I'm
My wife said-
find a killer.
Yeah.
That's
My wife said when she turned 30, like on the moment that she was actually born 30 years later, she actually heard dung dung.
Directed by Dick Wolf.
Yeah, whoa, what happened?
Oh man, speaking of, sidebar, Dick Wolf, great porn name.
great porn
Yeah.
name.
My
There's so many great porn
I've-
names out there. Like the one porn name that I feel like isn't a porn name, but he's done so well with it, James Dean.
Yeah. You think about, okay, so
Hold on,
side
I don't follow that one
I
at
don't-
all,
I
and I
don't-
don't know
James,
if
you've never seen a porno with James Dean?
I was thinking of James Dean from like the movies. Not
No.
porn
Yeah, that's
movies.
what I'm
He's-
thinking
He's,
of.
he's a porn actor, He does like a shit ton of like all the Brazzers stuff and like all. He's like the high dollar. Like he's the one where it's just like, 15 girls all in bondage and they need one dick to rule them all.
He's got said dick.
Yeah, and he's got the schlong that slices. He's got the schlong that dices.
Excalibur, as it. Okay.
Why would more than one chick want one single dude, and on the flip, why would one dude want to be banging more than one chick at the same time? It's like that's
okay.
fucking.
Skittles come multiple colors to a bag for a reason. Okay,
I know,
that's
but
all I'm saying.
I'm saying that's a lot of things in the air. That's
Yeah.
That's multitasking on a level.
Well, I'll tell you, it's to live out a fantasy. It's to live out a fantasy. Because if you were wanting nothing but the physical gratification of sex, you're right, that would not be an efficient way to achieve it.
Inefficient. That's exactly the word I was looking for. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's
But-
inefficient is what it
But
is.
sex is a lot more than just the physical aspect of it. There's a lot of, psychological and emotional and other things attached to it.
I'm just
So the
I can't
the
see very much.
excitement- Like, have you ever fucked in a public place?
I just think it's rude. I think it's rude, and you got enough time in the day. Pencil them in different slots. Is all I'm saying.
That's a lot of time in a day.
That is a lot of time in a day, and you
Even
have to
for
give
me.
a load to each one. See the
Give
efficiency.
a load to each one.
The
Yeah, no,
efficiency
I
of
mean,
this is
they're
that you can
expecting a
spread-
care package.
Yeah, you
Oh,
can
God.
spread one load over all of their
That's
faces.
right. Get them all together. Put your thumb over it.
See?
And then just
Yeah, like flash effect. Yeah, exactly. It gives you more distance.
I'm thinking the little piece like,
Exactly.
oh man.
But no,
So
like
no, then it's not. Then it becomes from inefficient to efficient. I guess I'm thinking from the female standpoint, and you guys are like, I've got to spread my seed as quickly and efficiently as possible. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're on either
But
side
yeah,
of the great
'cause-
divide here.
Right.
I will just say this and nobody answer because I realize I put somebody on the spot by asking, but the act of having sex in a public place, that doesn't, for the physical gratification, that doesn't add anything, and a lot of times it's actually a lot less comfortable,
Yeah.
and you have to do things
Well,
like standing
but
up
you
on
could
walls.
get caught, so it's
Yeah,
exciting.
so
that's
the
the
excitement,
point.
that's
It's
what I'm
the
saying,
psychological.
the excitement of it
Yeah.
now is amplified.
I
That's the same
don't
thing with
know.
like bringing somebody else into the boudoir.
Hold on a second. You don't know what?
I don't know. I'm trying real hard to think, and the bad thing that keeps coming to mind is like I can't think of a specific time as an adult that I had sex in public. But the weird thing that keeps coming to my dome is that when I was a kid,
Oh, shit.
like when I was because you don't have a fucking house, you don't have a car.
Well, no, so let's take that
Okay,
back.
so kid
Let's
is
take a step back. That's
16,
right. Let's say
17.
not kid. Let's say teenager. Unless
Okay,
unless it wasn't a teenager. But teenager is broad enough where
Tweenager.
Jesus Christ.
But
Hey
it-
man, whatever.
That brings me to a point where like finger banging is not as popular amongst adults as it is for, I won't use the word kids, teenagers.
Yeah.
But again, it goes back to like you don't have a house, you don't have a car, you don't even own a fucking couch.
That's
so
true.
you-
So, but finger banging is not the same as getting fucked. Well, I guess it
No,
is because you could
it
get
is-
caught
yeah.
because you're in a public
it's
place.
a psychological
Yeah.
thing. And
So, and when you think about it like that, yeah, I mean,
saying finger banging
Getting a
isn't
hand-
sex is like saying getting a hand job isn't
Yeah,
sex.
no, well, but
sex act.
it's a sex act, but it's not
Well,
sex,
amongst
in my
teens-
opinion.
I
And-
agree to disagree.
Well, absolutely.
amongst teens and people who are more like sexually inexperienced, I
Mm.
think the reason like finger banging and blowjobs and all that other stuff kind of like it's because especially for people that are inexperienced in sex, like
Mm.
that maybe not ready to take that step into a sexual act,
Yeah.
but are filled with hormones and
yeah,
need to come.
and don't know what to do with it.
Like that I think that's kind of why a lot more foreplay action takes the
Yeah.
forefront when you're sexually inexperienced.
Yeah.
But then once you cross that threshold, you're like,
You go,
why
wait,
would I not?
can put my dick in it?
Why would I not?
Holy shit!
Why would I
Well-
not put my dick in
Well,
there?
but are back to the point that I was? Are you a virgin if you get a hand job?
See, I don't really.
Is that losing your
I don't
is-
ascribe to the notion of virginity.
What does that mean?
I don't.
Show your
recognize
work,
it.
I guess. I don't know. I'm not sure what do you.
Well, what's virginity?
I mean, it's just what I've always been told. It's if
Right.
you've never had sex and then you have had sex, that's your virginity.
Virginity's not a thing. It's a made
It's
up.
just a
it's
word?
social construct. It's a
Okay.
word. Because so a lot of times, and it's usually guys. I don't mean to generalize, but it's usually guys. That
How
say, like,
dare you?
How dare? Fuck,
Don't you
I'll-
woman-splain this to me? It doesn't work the same. It doesn't have the same ring to
Nope.
it.
It
Nah,
doesn't,
go
it
ahead.
doesn't-
Anyway, I'm
doesn't,
sorry.
like rhyme.
It's too much privilege added on the back end
Yeah,
of it.
you're
That's
right.
the problem.
Yeah.
But they say it's when the hymen is broken. But that's ridiculous because some women are born without hymens. Some women are born with incomplete hymens. Some women can break their hymen playing basketball or doing strenuous activities
like-
or
Or
riding a
falling
horse.
down
Yeah.
hard.
Falling
Any
down.
any girl that rides horses or does
good.
gymnastics, fucking guaranteed broken hymen.
Well, so
And good dudes don't have hymens.
that's what I was about to say. It doesn't cover the
So
guy
you-
at all. Yeah.
So
With
what's
that being
virginity
said,
then?
okay, fair enough.
Like I'm trying to challenge your notion.
Yeah, no,
What's
I've
virginity?
and I've never looked it up. I don't even I've never even looked up the literal definition of it, so I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So
Well,
yeah,
virgin used to only be ascribed to females.
Yeah.
Dudes didn't have virginity.
Did
Dudes
not
weren't
know that.
expected to have
And
virginity.
and virginity or maidenhead, as
Yeah.
it was was originally put forward as a. God, this is gonna open up a dark past and dark symbol and past, but it was ascribed that who you were buying, the female that you were paying a dowry for and marrying,
Yeah.
was unsullied by other men.
Yeah. It's fucked up. In Middle Eastern
you-
countries, there's a midwife of sorts, like an elder lady that'll come in before marriage and just do a up in there and be like, okay, she's still a virgin. She's good to go, which also sucks because if
If
she
you-
rode a horse or like was
Yeah.
born without a hymen, she could be ostracized and stoned to death.
Yeah.
And like no fault of her own.
man, times have changed.
Oh yeah.
And
Wow.
still not changed enough. But
Woke.
But no, the like I said, that was the idea that was originally put forward of virginity, somebody who is pure and unspoiled. So, in that aspect, if we're going towards the traditional sense, you would have to ask yourself, well, at what point is a woman spoiled? Is she spoiled when she has a finger in her vagina? Is she spoiled when she swallows a dude's cum? Is she unspoiled if she takes it up the ass?
I think she's spoiled once you add her to the bank account.
That's when she's spoiled right
Yeah.
there. When
Once
she gets the keys to the Maserati, that's it, game done.
Well, see, that's how you have to do it differently these days. You gotta get added to her bank account.
Oh, that's woke as fuck.
Man,
woke as
That's woke.
fuck.
I hear people talk shit all the time about guys have to make more money, and to me that's just such a stupid thing that.
Oh, absolutely.
But like we do not argue about money. Even when we've been at our brokest, that was not what we argued about.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, I mean, these days, you'd be hard pressed because like a man making more money, that's like from the days of like a dude by himself on a single income could have a house at 27 and have a wife and 2.5 kids
Yeah.
and have money left over,
Yeah.
to buy a new Frigidaire.
Or to rent a trailer and go camping on the weekend.
These days we got married couples living in their parents' house because just rent is too damn high.
Like both of
people
them
don't make enough
working,
money.
still not able to make
Yeah,
ends
it's
meet.
ridiculous.
Well, even when we were at our brokest, at one point in time I wasn't working, and we have 3 kids, so there, I can't say she's never had a job. I think that was me that put us in the financial turmoil that the relationship that we had. But we did bounce back and forth.
Yeah.
We always bounced back and forth as to who made more money. It all depended on who was doing. Because there was one point in time where I had 3 fucking jobs.
Damn. But
You
not
know?
arguing about money that's a good sign. And arguing
'cause-
about money is a bad
Well, but the
sign.
thing is
money
like,
is just it's money. It's either like it's just the means to achieve something. It's
Yeah.
not the mark of how much you've achieved.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we figured out the way to do it though. Like we have both of our checks dump into one account, and then we move money out of that account to another account that's our spending money account.
Oh, cool.
So we know exactly how much money we have to have in that other account for all of our bills to auto draft out.
Yeah.
And then everything else gets pushed over in this other one. Money gets pushed into savings. And I thank God that I have the whiz that I have in there at what she does. She's
Oh yeah, that's right. You said I don't want to
AP
give too much away, but accounting.
yeah. Hey, what's that?
I said I don't want to give too much personal information away, but accounting.
Yeah, no, you're good. No, I don't give a shit. She's an AP manager. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like that's what she does. So she knows all about managing these accounts and making sure they get paid.
Yeah.
And we had an issue at one point in our lives where you turn around and why isn't the water fucking working? Oh, we didn't fucking pay the bill.
I've
you know,
done that before.
we've got the money, but we just didn't do it. There have been times where the water got cut off, and it's because we didn't have the goddamn money.
Yeah.
But that's when we figured out, you know, hey, put everything on auto draft and then move your money.
Auto draft saves my fucking life.
And the point that I wanted to make is I think there are a lot of couples that are living in their mom and dad's basement because rent is expensive and wages are low.
Yeah.
But I've also been in those positions where rent was expensive and wages were low. And I do fully believe that if you figure out a way to manage the money that you make, you can find something that fits within that footprint, and you can continue taking your up step and get into a better position.
Oh, yeah.
And it doesn't take long because time fucking flies.
Oh my God, I don't even want to talk about it.
I've got 3 little ones in there, and it seems like yesterday I didn't. You know, and my oldest is 11, my youngest is almost 8.
Oh,
I don't have any kids, and it is wild to me because I'm allowed to be like really
Excuse me,
childish?
almost 6.
What's the fucking word?
Immature?
Immature. Thank you. You are just out of the park today.
told you, I'm
I can
fucking
afford
on
to
it.
be immature, but like not having kids, it's wild to me because like I just caught back up with a childhood friend of mine. Literally childhood friend. Known him since I was in like elementary school, and he's a year older than me. And he was talking about his kid, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot you have a kid. How old is he now? And he's like, he's 13, and I'm like, Madre de Dios. Like that's a young adult. Holy shit.
I've got
old enough to read
friends
the
that
Twilight books and question
Yeah.
things.
I've got friends that I went to high school that have kids that just graduated.
I know.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
So yeah, I mean, I'm getting up there, and
Oh.
it's weird too because like I meet people because of my day job, you know, going around and meeting people the way I do, and the drivers that we have, I meet them, and it's crazy when you talk to some of these people, and they're wearing a Bird High School shirt, and you're like, I graduated from Bird, yeah, when 99, oh wow, I was born in 98,
Yeah.
like what?
I
Like,
went on
holy
a-
shit! Like
Okay.
I was born in '99. God damn, Jesus Christ!
This is a decent segue into kind of what I wanted to talk about.